Well, but bands sometimes reach this level, even locally, to where they go, man, those guys are cool. And you know what happens, how that happens a lot of times? Just staying together. Just staying together and working at the product, improving the product, and improving the show, and improving your plan. Just staying together and working there. That's the hardest thing to do in music. It's keeping a group of people together and working. Sponsorship is a really great thing on marketing, guys. If you look at sponsorship, if you look at sponsorship, those sponsor dollars a lot of times can pay for stuff. T-shirts, stuff to help market you. Just something as simple as posters. If you're working with a sponsor that has a product in a store locally, and you say, hey, what's the next thing? Get together with the general manager and say, what's the next thing you guys are going to put out on the shelf? Oh, well, we've got this new product. It's coming. Great. Is there some way I get my name of my group put on the poster or the display that you have for this new product? When you look through something that's being geared towards your target audience, and there's no other names in there of other artists using that product or endorsing that product endorsements, that's an opportunity for you, even on a local level. Even on a local, if it's your school, if it's a whatever, if it's some type of advertisement base, then that's an opportunity for you. So that's part of the whole co-marketing thing. That's when you want to start knocking on their doors. Trust me, if I see some kid coming knocking on my door and I've got a product, I'm like, wow, this kid's got some pretty good insight. What kind of influence does it have? If I decide to invest my marketing dollars and share a little bit of that with this individual, what type of span of influence do they have in their area? Can they help me with my product? That's the whole co-marketing. Okay, on the management now. So,
what's the link between like Ruby Ridge, Ruby Ridge, and your other sponsors? What do they get out of you?
That's a great answer.
They're providing you funds, I guess.
You bet. They want a return on investment.
Yeah.
They want a return on investment. So I actually had that happen. Mike Lauer, who's the general manager for U.S. Distributor, he said, I kicked us out some money for some stuff and helped us bring us up a little bit. And he goes, well, what am I going to get? What's my return on investment? And I was like, wow. So I thought, okay, the first thing I can do is I have a span of influence through my music. So as I'm writing songs, I'm mentioning their product by name. As I'm doing our CDs and the sleeves, and their product name is in there. As I'm doing my shows on my speakers, I had to make me some vinyl cutouts to go right on my speakers with their product name right on it.
Since there's probably so many people like approaching the sponsors, how do you stay out in the crowd?
You know, that's a great question. That's a great question, you know. I always equate that to, you ever go to a high school dance, junior high school dance? Have you ever been to a dance? Anybody? Right? And so you see the person that you want to ask to dance, right? Oh, that person's so cute, I want to go ask them to dance. But as you start approaching, here comes 4 or 5 other people and they beat you to the punch, right? You're like, oh, I'll never get them now, man. Everybody's all swarmed around them, right? The trick is to constantly be on the lookout for opportunities, like we were showing today. You got to be thinking about that kind of stuff quite often. You know, if you want to be the first one in line, the old saying, early bird gets the worm, it's been around so long because it's true. You know, if you want to get to that sponsor and get that thing, don't go there when there's 25 other musicians all crowded around, you know, or so-and-so says, hey, you know, I got these people to sponsor me. Don't go knocking on their door because they've already got somebody else. Look around for somewhere where there's no competition. Why make it tough on yourself? And if there's a product that's already being used in the circles that you already hang out with, the people that you already know that you have some span of influence in, you know, you can go to them and say, hey, look, this is my group. I hang out with them. You already market to them. I can help increase the knowledge of your product to this group of people because I have a span of influence. Because A, I'm a musician. Do you guys realize the power that you have when you're on stage? Are you aware of that? You guys even have a clue? Exactly. There's a certain, there's just a certain coolness that goes with being a musician. You know? Not always. Sometimes the tuba player doesn't really get a lot of respect. you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is there's a certain amount of influence that you have that goes with being a musician. That gives you a little bit of control, you know? So A, you have a responsibility to manage that responsibility. But also, you can use that to your advantage and help raise the awareness of who you are in that circle a little bit higher, because it's those fans around you that's going to help make you, to get you to the point to where you are, to where you can do this for a living, you know? Essentially, it's brand loyalty. That's what it is. They're loyal to you as a brand. The next thing I have on here is show promotions. How did those people get to your show in the first place? How are you going to get them there? You got to show it. You got to show, let's say you got to show it 2 months. Okay? 2 months you've got to show. You know where you're playing. You know who you're playing with. You know what songs you're going to play. You know about your show. But how are you going to get people's butts in the seats to watch your show? How are you going to get them out here? Flyers, okay? That's a great start. What else? Anybody else got any other ideas? How else are you going to get them to the show? Anybody? Back there in the back, you guys? How are you going to get them to the show? Newspaper. That's great. Of course, that takes a little bit of money. So that's where either, hopefully you've got some cash or some capital, somebody else has some, or you have some sphere of influence and connections, you know, to where you can go. And what else, guys? How else are you going to get them to your show? Anybody?
Songs sold on the radio, so you can get conventional radio.
Great radio. Huh? Billboards. Okay. What else? Someone important. Like. Now that was very genius, because these guys all took what's already there in our regular media. But that's good. You used a sphere of influence that you had. Does that cost any money, guys? No? Cost no money at all. There's people in certain places that have a bunch of disposable cash or some connections that they're willing to use in that way. That's great.
Or have a cable TV show and do it.
Right. Like SynCat, you're talking public access television.
Right.
You're right. Have you guys thought about taking your band and putting your songs together and going to SynCat and say, hey, can we come up and play a couple, 3 songs, do a little video? Trust me, they're hard up for material. I did a show, oh good Lord, how long was it? 2001. I was recovering from hernia surgery. They're still playing the damn concert. I look at it now and I'm just like, ugh, I had no energy on stage, but they're hurting for material, so there you go. That's great.